And welcome everybody, I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
And you're tuned into the Sneakee Bastards. We're going to do a miscellaneous show today. We're going to touch everything from Trump, the election, Joe Biden, Joe Rogan, and Bitcoin, Kraken, cryptocurrency, fires in California, a little bit of everything. So stick around and, check out your best part. And if you would, at the end, if you make it to the end, we'd appreciate a like or a comment, but we'd really appreciate it if you share our videos. That's one thing we're looking forward to. So
yes.
Where do we start? Should we start with the fires in California, get that out of the way?
Well, they've named the person and put them in jail.
What has happened is everybody is blaming this on climate change. Mm-hmm. The fires going on in California. And they've actually concluded, and well, not concluded, but they have confirmed that there's been 58 cases of man-made fires in California. And apparently the person they arrested is named Climate Change.
Climate Change,
That's who they're blaming it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this fellow Climate Change, we don't know if he started all 58 fires, but apparently at least 58 fires are man-made in California.
Well, not only that, one of the guys they arrested, okay?
Yeah.
A liberal California Socialist Democrat judge turned him loose. And the next day he went out and started
another fire.
Started 2 more fires.
Yeah, so, they let him out and they keep starting these fires. So whoever this Climate Change character is, they need to put him in jail and stop it. That's for one thing. Because if you notice, I actually went on and did some satellite maps. And it's really strange. You have all these forests going up from Mexico all the way up to California, Washington, Oregon, all the way up into Canada. But it's strange how the fires are only in the United States. I mean, there's no massive fires in Canada, no massive fires in Mexico. Matter of fact, Mexico is actually sending a lot of firefighters up to California to help them with. So it's strange how climate change is only occurring in the West Coast, not Canada and Mexico.
Is that kind of like COVID knows whether you're going to the store or if you're demonstrating for Black Lives Matter?
Apparently it does. So, this is really tricky on what's happening in California. Again, it's really sad that this is happening. People are losing, their homes and their lives.
And there's been a lot of pets.
Yeah. And
we love pets. You can't hear the bird in the background. You hear dogs barking and peacocks. We love pets.
Yep.
So
it's horrible.
Any tongue-in-cheek gouging and humor.
We aim that towards politicians.
Right. Yeah. Because
not to the people.
Humans are smart enough. Well, they're supposed to be smart enough to get in their car and drive away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, pets and wildlife, they can't get in the doggone.
They can only fend for themselves as fast as their feet will carry them.
They can't get in the Hummer and haul ass across the woods.
This is true, or a helicopter, hop in a helicopter and get them. It's really sad what's happening out there, but don't let them fool you in that it's climate change causing these fires. These are man-made fires. Most of them are man-made fires, and they can be stopped. People are saying that land management has something to do with it. That does have something to do with it, but not as much as man-made fires.
What the land management has to do with it, and this is the same thing that happened in Australia, by the way, was turned into a socialist leftist thing with their bushfires and stuff. Yeah. They refused to go and clean out the underbrush, and the underbrush in the dry season becomes tinder that magnifies the size of the fire.
Yeah, they want, here in Florida, we do what's done around the world, and that's controlled burns.
Mm-hmm.
They go in there and set fires intentionally to get the tinder down. They also build fire roads and fire breaks, but in California, because there's so many environmentalists there that every time they want to do a controlled burn, it takes years before they get the permits to do it because there's lawsuits about animals and all that. They don't have fire trails, fire stops, or not much in California because the environmentalists won't let them do it. And that's why it burns so bad in California.
And here's another thing beyond that to show their lunacy. And I'm going to try and use clean words, okay?
Best we can.
Lunacy. Around here, if you're inside the city limits, it's like you have garbage day, recycling day, and you have trash day.
Yeah.
And around here, you can cut down all your underbrush, stack it up, and the city or the county hauls it off and either burns it or shreds it to make mulch.
Yeah.
They don't do that in California.
Yeah, they don't touch the forest until it's burning. And then by then it's too
Well,
late.
then all they want is people. Now they make fun of people in Florida, how people in Florida and want a bailout for a hurricane, or the people in Mississippi want a bailout because of the flood. Yeah, but you want to know something? The hurricanes and floods. There's more fires in California.
Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact.
And you know that 48% of all the people on unemployment right now are from California? No, 40%. Right. The majority of people that are drawing unemployment or complaining about are California, because California is a total lockdown state.
California's a mess. You know, real quick while we're talking about California, they want to pass a law to where if you're rich, you have a good amount of money and a bunch of assets, that if you decide to leave California, they're going to tax you for 10 years on your assets that you take with you.
Oh, and they're trying to do it to businesses too, so businesses don't leave California.
So, why would you even want to move to California if you know that once you go there and you make a buttload of money, you can't take it anywhere else? You can't move out of the state without them wanting to grab their fair share. So, they're just ruining the state. So, good luck, California. Matter of fact, Joe Rogan left California.
Mm-hmm. And left YouTube.
And somebody else, Ben Shapiro, who's a white wing commentator, he's moving to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are trying to get out of California before it gets really a mess. So good luck, California. That's all we can say.
In the last 2 or 3 months, we're talking about exoduses.
Yep.
Moses has created another exodus.
With the virus?
In the last 2 months, between New York and New Jersey, there's been 1,000 people a week
Get the hell out of there.
just coming from New York and New Jersey to the Central Florida area, not just Florida, to the Central Florida area.
Yeah, I hear that there's a waiting list for U-Hauls in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get out of there fast enough. So, New York City is going to be as bad as California, not with fires and everything, but with money leaving.
Well, in Chicago,
the tax bases
in Illinois, the actual total population for the last 7 years or something like that has been going down.
Yeah.
And my son was up there.
For the first time in history, more people are leaving California than are moving to California.
Yes. And this was over a year ago, because Caterpillar and lots of big corporations are folding up. My son had a small auto shop at the time, and he had several people a week towards the end of 2019 trying to rent Hertz or U-Haul. Tried to rent U-Haul, yeah, because he had like a U-Haul thing. And certain things, there was a waiting list and a premium if you weren't renting it local.
No.
And that was before the COVID-19 crisis.
So all we can say is good luck, New York, New Jersey, and California.
And if you come here, it's fine with me.
Yeah. No
Don't just leave your snow shovel there. Leave your socialist, democratic, liberal crap there also, because that is what destroyed the state you're coming from.
Yeah, please don't turn Florida into California and New York. That's all we ask. You can come down here and visit Disney World. You can move here and make your life better.
Just don't make it turn blue.
Just don't. Yeah, let's don't do that. Since I did bring up Joe Rogan, there's a petition going around on Facebook and Twitter and other
Everywhere.
social media. And Joe Rogan apparently has invited Trump and Joe Biden for a 4-hour debate, with Joe Rogan being the
The
moderator.
moderator, yeah.
And this would be interesting. Trump already said he would go.
Yeah.
And haven't heard anything from Joe. He's still in his basement. Except he was in Kissimmee, which is right down the street from us here, Kissimmee, Florida, yesterday. And he was juking out to some Latino music. He's, you know, I guess he's heavily into Latino music, so he was showing us his dance moves. But we haven't heard nothing from Joe yet. So maybe they might bring on the other Joe, Joe Jorgensen. Yes, there is a third person running for president, and she's a woman. Of the 72 genders, she's actually a woman, and she's running for president. And there's a petition going on to have Joe Rogan put her on with Donald Trump if Joe Biden decides not to accept this invitation for a 4-hour debate. And by the way, Joe Rogan did leave, not only did he leave California, but he left YouTube, and he's on Spotify now, I believe it is. And he's really getting a great audience now, worldwide audience. So
yeah, he's getting more subscribers than he had on YouTube.
Yeah, so it was a great move for him, and we wish him all the luck. And we hope that this debate does go on, because this would be an interesting debate. This won't be a debate, you know, with CNN being the moderator, or, you know, MSNBC moderating it. This will be actual tough questions, you know, for the candidates. So, you know, if you see a petition going around,
Joe Rogan's kind of the new Howard Stearns of today.
Yes, yeah. And we wish him well. And you know, I listened to a couple of his podcasts, but haven't listened to any of the new ones. But I'd be interested to hear a 4-hour debate between the three candidates. It'd be great if all three candidates were on.
You know what you're going to see there, don't you? You're going to see Trump, the Libertarian, and a monitor there.
Yeah, they say they're, with the upcoming debates now. I guess they have a couple of debates planned, and now there's rumors saying that Joe Biden might show up just on a monitor.
Right.
Yeah, instead of him being there in person, so he can get the answers correct before he answers the tough questions.
Yeah, the thing is, it's going to be different than it was with Hillary. If he does Joe Rogan's not going to give you the questions ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah, he won't know the questions, and he won't have the answers ahead of time.
Right.
All right.
Speaking of Hillary,
why not?
And you also spoke about Mr. Biden being down at Kissimmee at some Latino thing. Well, then he went over to Tampa.
Oh yeah, what happened in Tampa? I mean, I imagine the crowds were just outrageous.
The traffic is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Guy I follow is a YouTuber in Tampa. He was doing a live stream of the Joe Biden live stream in Tampa. And it was a worldwide media live stream. And there were fewer than 1,500 people watching it worldwide. So he stopped the live stream, grabbed his GoPro camera, went down there. He saw 2 Biden supporters. There were 8 or 10 people that are Trump people. And they'd been there for hours. And they said that, and all the parking lots were empty. He went around the building and all the parking lots were empty. There were more police cars there than there were civilian cars.
Probably more news media there than actual supporters.
Well, I didn't tell you that part.
Well, they're actually supporters too. So.
I didn't tell you that part.
Oh.
So anyway, he went around and he said, well, that when earlier they had like a caravan of like 50 or 60 people come in for a photo op of people cheering to go in and all this kind of stuff. Then about 10 minutes later, they all left.
They didn't hang around.
And after he talked to them for a while and stuff like that, he walked around the building here, it's all empty. And he went over, and there were 2 different news trucks there. And he went over and talked to the guys at the news truck. Oh my God. This is the same guy that in 2016 took off work and went down there for the big Hillary convention. It's supposed to be like tens of thousands of people. And he went down and videotaped. He got a high definition camera. And so he could count the amount of people afterwards. And there's supposed to be 20 or 30 or 40,000 people. He counted them from in the building all the way down the street, and there were like 2,400 people. And he stayed there for 2-3 hours, so it isn't like he missed them, okay?
You know, it's not good if you can't pull people into your, you know, campaign events. And, you know, it's funny, I drive around quite a bit, and I took a poll on political signs, you know, yard signs.
Yeah.
And so far, Joe Biden is coming in third behind Trump signs and wood for sale here in Florida. Yeah. So right now, wood for sale is outpacing Biden signs.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah, because winter's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though we don't need it because of global warming. But
yeah, that's true.
But as far as for people showing up, we're like 45 minutes to an hour away from a place called the Villages. It's a huge retirement community.
Yep.
And Trump or Pence, either one can show up there. And there'll be 20 or 30,000 people.
Yeah, easily. I can remember when Palin was on the ticket. And when she went there, it was just.
Well, I live in a gated community. There was like this woman was selling out her mom's house and stuff like that, and I got to hitting around. And she went to one of the Trump rallies at the Villages. Boy, yeah, buddy.
What a difference, huh?
Boy, did she come alive with some opinions. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
All right, so
and they weren't liberal.
something else in the news that you probably don't see in the news because they really don't report news on CNN, NBC, ABC, and all that. Trump again managed to get a peace agreement between Israel and
Saudi Arabia, wasn't it?
Not Saudi Arabia, UAE.
Oh, yeah, the UAE.
Yeah.
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, and they think there's going to be 2 more peace agreements signed here very shortly. And, you know, he's the first president in a generation who actually has earned a nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, you got to remember that other previous president.
They gave it to him before he actually became
president. Yeah,
right.
But this is the first president in a generation that has earned the Nobel Peace Prize.
I think the last time anybody had any kind of a peace agreement in the Middle East was Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, way back. Yeah.
Back in the 70s, Jimmy Carter got one.
And of course,
Anwar Sadat.
And of course, as they would call her, crazy Nancy Pelosi, said that this is just a distraction from what's going on with the COVID and all this stuff. So these peace agreements aren't real. It's just a distraction. Nice little distraction. That's the kind of distraction I'm.
That gives us stability and keeps gas prices down.
And hopefully we can pull out more of our troops. Bring them home.
That keeps gas prices down.
Yep. So we just thought we'd throw that in there since you probably haven't really heard it on the news. You know, Trump has done a lot for the economy and world peace behind the scenes. You know, he's bombastic. You know, he could be probably a jerk, and he usually is on TV because
he's a bull in a china closet.
I think he does that just to get on the nerves of the media because it drives the media nuts.
Well, you see,
but what he does behind the scenes, he actually is getting things done.
It's like a good boxer or fighter.
Yeah.
If I get you angry, you'll make a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Trump's doing.
Yeah.
He's playing doggone rope-a-dope.
Yeah, and the media doesn't know how to play it yet. And they just keep pulling themselves in this circle and try to figure out how to get him to screw up. But, you know, legislatively, he's done a lot for the country.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, he's, he promised that for every new regulation that his administration puts on businesses.
They have to get rid of 2.
And, well, it's actually now up to 3.
Cool.
So for every regulation that his administration passes, they get rid of 3 that have done damage. And you don't hear about this on the news because they're just checking his fact checking whenever he talks, and he talks this way just to drive the media nuts.
Yeah.
So we all know he's a liar, and it could be part of his plan.
There was this guy that walked on water years ago, and he said, "By their deeds you will know them."
Yeah, it's like you judge the man by his character, not by his
By
skin
what he
color.
says.
Yeah, what he does.
So they're banning any Joe Biden things on Twitter and everything else where it shows him fondling little girls and stuff like that. That's racist and pedophilia. But it's an official U.S. government video, and they'll ban it.
Yeah, I mean,
because they know what's best for us.
Yeah, Facebook, and there's a movie on Netflix that everybody ought to check out, and it's called. Oh God, I just was talking about this earlier, and now I can't think about it. But they showed how some of the creators of the social media, people who actually brought us the like button and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They said when they first started creating the social media, they didn't know how it would end up, and now they're really scared on what they have done. Because the social media, you can take, get on Facebook and get a friend of yours on Facebook and look at your feeds, and depending on your political leanings, you can see what's fed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Through the ads, and we recommend this and all that stuff. And you'll see how completely different they are, because they try to tweak it. To edge you on, and this is why we're so divided, is because even between you and your family and your friends, you might have different political views, but they egg you on to go against your friends and your family. It's really disgusting.
You know what that's called? And it's not the word you're thinking of first. It's just like television. It's called programming.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to program you to do what they want.
Yeah. That's
Orwell's 1984.
Yeah. So, when you're on Facebook or any other social media, just take it as a grain of salt what you're seeing. That's why I like to confuse them. When I'm on social media, I'll click on ads and stories that are completely off what I'd probably never read, but just to read them, just to see it, because it confuses the algorithm. They don't know what to feed me. Because I get all kind of strange things. It's really strange.
Speaking of strange,
I
did you see where Gilliam
I do it just to poke them. What's that?
Did you see what Gilliam did?
No, he finally admitted that.
He identifies as a bisexual black man.
Well, that's one of the 72 genders.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one. All right, well, what else is going on? So we get into the crypto now?
Okay.
How's Bitcoin doing?
It just hit 11,000 a few minutes ago.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I did see where Link has lost like 46% of their value. I guess people bought it and then sold it at the high, so Link's kind of back down there.
Yeah, but that's just...
Now's the time maybe to buy some Link. We're not financial advisors. We don't give any financial advice, but you ought to buy some Bitcoin, just like you would silver or gold, as an insurance. No telling what the dollar is going to do here shortly, especially after the election. What's on what the dollar is going to do. But there's some news coming out about Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken is one of the cryptocurrency exchanges.
They're like a competitor to Coinbase.
Yes.
You can buy crypto through Kraken.
They have now been awarded a license in 2-3 different states to be a bank.
A bank.
A
So,
full-fledged bank.
Crypto, like I said before, Jamie Dimon and all that, it's just a phase. It's not going to be around for long. But here's your first crypto bank coming to America, of all places, which is really surprising because I don't know. Is it the IRS? I think it's the IRS. I just read this morning is offering a $625,000 award to anybody who can track Monero. Monero is a privacy coin. So once you get, Monero coins, you can't track who's got it and where it goes. But the IRS is now offering a $625,000 reward if somebody can figure out how to track in there. So you can see the United States is a little worried about this Bitcoin, which is just a flash in the pan.
China said they're coming out with a cryptocurrency the first of the year.
Are they?
It's their own cryptocurrency. It's a fiat cryptocurrency, yeah. But it's based on a blockchain.
And that's what the Fed wants to do too. They're looking into it, but yeah, these crypto coins, just a flash that it'll, they all go to zero. It's not worth nothing, and we got to take the word of Jamie Dimon, is it? Who said that?
Yeah.
It's just a.
Yeah, I started getting into Bitcoin at $800. Right now it's $11,055. I'm really losing my ass.
Yeah.
And Peter Schiff, one of those big fund managers and all that kind of gobbledygook, has been totally against Bitcoin. He's a gold-only maximalist.
Yeah.
He's coming over to the light. His son is running another fund, and his son is investing heavily in Bitcoin. And Peter Schiff is saying that he still thinks you should be into gold, but physical gold.
Yeah.
And that, as far as for a paper market or derivatives, you're better off Bitcoin than gold.
Yeah. Probably. But you can at least take Bitcoin out of the country with you. Try taking your gold out of the country with you. It'd be kind of tough.
Well, not only that, unless you've got it in a particular place, you can't turn it into fiat quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have Bitcoin, you can send it to Kraken, which is now a bank.
Get your money and
have your money sent to your local bank.
And buy a Ferrari. Or food, because, food's getting expensive. Inflation is getting out of hand, guys. Wait till next year. You might want to stock up on a little bit of food just to be safe. Again, we don't give any financial advice here. We're just a bunch of guys sitting around on a porch smoking cigars and drinking scotch. And, of course, we don't do product placement.
Yeah,
but if somebody would like to sponsor us, we wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
All right, any other news out there?
Well, I watch a lot of stuff from Australia.
I wish I had the clip. If I get a chance and edit this, I might put the clip in of what the other world, or what the rest of the world thinks of the presidential race. But what's going on in Australia?
Oh, they've got definite opinions.
Yeah, they got definite opinions.
Because they have got a nationwide total lockdown to the point where their crazy government went in the middle of the night and arrested a pregnant woman because she posted on Facebook about going to a demonstration against wearing masks.
Yeah. What a world. Total control. Police state.
And there was a large group of doctors across Australia that got together and they'd save hundreds and hundreds of lives using a medication that's not been approved by the government. And they're talking about trying to take their license to be a physician.
And be careful when you go to Australia. I think we mentioned this in a previous video, where a gentleman went there for vacation, and as he was getting off the airplane, he wasn't wearing a mask, so they tackled him and forced a mask on him. So, just be safe. Wear a mask.
Yeah, they're crazy about that shit.
Yeah. Just make everybody happy, wear a mask, and then take it off when you're not around people.
Yeah. And, well, the group I watch, they're anti-mask, they're pro all kinds of stuff, but they also go into, and they actually literally track weather around the world. And they're carrying on about this last thing with the bushfire in Australia. The one in 1851 was twice as bad as this one, but there was no global warming in it. Okay, and they'll show how they take and do all the measurements to show how some of these ice shelves are actually growing. How that in Russia they've had to cut their summer vacation places. They've had to close them because of huge snowstorms.
Icing in.
And up in Colorado and Idaho and up in some of these mountains in the western United States, they're also having an early winter.
Since I did bring up mask wearing in Australia, just real quick, I saw a report. I think it was on actually ABC. I'm not sure, but I believe it was ABC or it might have been on one of the websites. But they recommend that the ash is so bad in California, the smoke and everything, that they recommend that you wear an N95 mask because the particles are so small, you know, the ash and smoke, that's the only kind of mask that will stop that. Yet, I believe a virus is smaller than smoke and ash. They don't require you to wear an N95 mask.
An N95 mask, and you can Google it, or DuckDuckGo.
Use DuckDuckGo. Don't use Google.
Filters down to 0.3 microns. CV19 is 0.06 microns.
Yeah, so the mask is not protect. Well, it protects you from spitting on people. That's about it when you cough.
That's it.
But it doesn't protect the virus coming into your mask. If they recommend an N95 mask for smoke and not for the virus, even though the virus is smaller, that's just something to think about in masks. Not that we're anti-mask. Look, when I go into the store, if the store requires me to wear a mask, I'm going to wear a mask. You know, just so I don't get hassled.
Okay, about masks. There was here 2 weeks ago. There was a huge spike of people testing positive in the Tampa Bay area. Boy, the news media, they rushed down to this hospital and they set all up with their cameras and stuff like that. And one of these people who's a fan of this guy I watched down there, okay? They saw this and they took and they got their cell phone cameras up and they videotaped the news channel interviewing this registered nurse at this hospital. And they're, oh, well, you know, there's this many new cases and there's a huge outbreak and it looks like the second wave starting. How is this hospital handling the flood of new COVID-19 cases? And the woman said, I don't know how the other hospitals are doing. Really. But this hospital is a 3,800 bed hospital. Right now we have 78 people in here. No COVID-19, and the majority of people in here are here because they don't clean their masks, but they wear their mask all day long, and they have lung infections from wearing a mask. So wear your mask when you're supposed to, but if you wear it all day long, you can create a lung infection.
Just make it worse. So only wear it where necessary. Don't wear it all day.
Yeah, because it will create a lung infection.
All right, we're getting up near the end. We got anything else we want to talk about?
Works for me.
You know, we appreciate you watching the show. Again, we'd like any kind of likes or comments you have. If you have comments, you know, we'd love you to have a comment below. But we'd really appreciate it if you'd share our videos. Again, I'm Sneakee Bastard 1.
I'm Sneakee Bastard 2.
And you've been listening to Sneakee Bastards. And hopefully we'll bring you a new show shortly. So stay tuned, and we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you soon, everybody. Be good. Be safe out there, okay?